How's it going? Hunter Thompson here with raisingcapital.com, and today I'm going to tell you the 4 ways that you can ruin your next capital raise. And I promise you, pretty much everyone watching this right now is doing number 4. And we're going to start out with a banger. Number 1, wait until you have a deal to start raising capital. Unfortunately, I see a lot of people do this. So if you want to ruin your next capital raise, that's how to do it. Now, the reality is, if you want to raise more capital, what you should be doing is constantly be raising money, even before you have a deal. This game is all about capacity, building up your capacity to raise capital so that when you actually have a deal, you can fill it up very quickly. We actually have a client that just raised $13.5 million in 24 hours. And he didn't just do it by working his butt off for that 24-hour period. He built up his capacity to raise money by doing things like constantly talking to investors, sending out example deals before he even had a deal available, constantly growing his list, growing his audience, and keeping them engaged. So by the time he had a deal, he sent it out and filled it up very quickly. Like I said, he raised $13.5 million in just 24 hours by implementing that strategy. So again, if you want to ruin your capital raise, wait until you have a deal to start raising capital. If not, do the opposite. Number 2, just rely on your friends and family. Listen, if you want to come up short on your next capital raise, this is all you've got to do. Okay, we've all heard the myth that if someone knows, likes, and trusts you, sure, they'll invest with you, right? Yeah, except for it's not true at all. The reality is that friends and family invest the least amount. They're the least likely to reinvest. They're the least likely to refer other investors to you. And by the way, most friends and family want to get a return on their investment before investing again. You simply can't build a business around friends and family. You've got to get away from them if you truly want to scale. But if you want to ruin your next capital raise, just rely on them. Now, if you actually want to grow a sustainable business, do the opposite of that. What you really should do is find out who your dream clients are, figure out what their pain points are, figure out what their goals are, and then build a brand specifically designed to attract them, not your friends and family. And we have countless examples of our clients doing this. We've got Tate over here who built an entire business just focusing on pilots who are his dream clients. We've also got Dr. Johnny Walker over here who built his entire business focused on high income dentist. He's raised more than $10 million since working with us. Plus, we've got Sandia, who built her entire business focusing on her dream clients who are engineers. So figure out who your dream clients are, what their pain points are, and then you can attract those people and get away from dealing with friends and family. But like I said, if your goal is to ruin your next capital raise, stick with friends and family. I'm sure you'll do fine. Number 3, only reach out to your potential investors when you need something. Now listen, we all have that friend that only contacts you when they want to cry about their ex, or they need some money, or they need a favor, and need a ride from the airport. All you got to do if you want to ruin your next capital raise is be that guy. Now, of course, I don't want you to fail at your next capital raise. So what's the opposite of that? The opposite of that is constantly priming the pump and keeping your audience engaged. Now, how do you do this? One great example is to show them what you're working on behind the scenes. Give them a property tour. Show them an example of a deal that you passed on. Passive investors absolutely love that. You can also give them updates about the economy or interest rates or your investment strategy. But the key is that all of this engagement builds up goodwill with your audience that you can later tap into when it's time to raise capital. You cannot drink from a well that you haven't dug. So keeping your audience engaged, priming the pump constantly, is digging that well that you can tap into next time you have a deal. Number 4, rely on the deal to sell itself. If you want to ruin your next capital raise, this is an excellent way to do it. And I know a lot of you watching this are doing this right now. Whenever you get to talk to an investor, whether it's a presentation, a webinar, or a one-on-one phone call, the first thing you should do is start talking about the nuances of the deal, the underwriting, the IRR, the debt service coverage ratio, the specifics of your strategy. This is a great way to ruin your calls and not be able to raise any money. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, how can I avoid that? Well, how you should avoid that is focus on building true, deep rapport with your potential investors. I have something I call the KMF strategy, which is short for key motivating factor. Anytime you talk to a potential investor, you should be trying to uncover what their key motivating factor is. Why are they on the call with you? What pain are they feeling right now? What goals are they trying to accomplish by investing with you? If you can uncover that, then you have the opportunity to build a ladder from where they are to where they want to go. And guess what? That ladder is actually your investment strategy. No matter what type of deals you do, you have to be able to build a gap between where they are and where they want to go, And the way to get to where they want to go is through you. That's how you build true, meaningful rapport with investors and build a business that's far more sustainable and scalable. Think about it. If you're competing over IRR, you're subject to the whims of the economy. You're subject to the winds of interest rates. But if you build a true emotional connection with your potential investors, they're not going to care about the change of the economies or the strategy. It'll make your business far more healthy. Plus, when you build true emotional connections with your potential investors, they invest far more frequently and they're much more likely to refer other investors to your business. This is how you actually scale. So that's basically the playbook. If you want to ruin your next capital raise, all you got to do, step number 1, wait until you have a deal to start raising capital. Step number 2, just rely on friends and family. Step number 3, only reach out to your audience when you need something from them. And step number 4, just rely on the deal to sell itself. And of course, if you want to actually be successful at raising money, just do the opposite of all of those things. And if you like this video and you want another like it, comment the word capital below. I'll send you another free capital raising training where I talk about how to attract endless $100,000 investors. So if you like this video, like I said, like this video and comment the word capital below. Good luck out there.